Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back to this Making the Movement episode here at the OurSociety Experiment. So it's Friday, guys. You know the deal. This is our weekly update where we talk to you about what's happening at the OurSociety Experiment now and what we're going to be doing in the future. So this last week was a really exciting week. We started off on Monday lobbying at the New Jersey State House for the bill A3628, which is the Civic Information Bill. Essentially, it gives funds to the tune of $5 million to local news organizations and organizations that increase civic information and participation. So OurSociety really falls right under that umbrella. And it was a really, really great opportunity. I got to hang out with James Thompson and Craig Aaron from freepress.net. It was really their bill. They were the sponsor. I was just volunteering to help out. And you know, was a cool experience about it. You'll see a whole video about it in the future, of Making the Movement video. But it really was interesting to kind of get a first-hand experience of what lobbying is and how the experience goes, and for something that really I am personally very passionate about. Obviously, OurSociety is my premier passion. However, you know, open and free information is really parallel with OurSociety, and I think that it's a really great bill in the state, and it seems like that we're getting a good amount of support for it. You also remember I testified about that in the past. There's a video about that. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it below. But you should check that out. It was a really great experience as well.
What compelled me most to testify here today was a desire to express how critical these types of initiatives are for transitioning New Jersey into the new knowledge economy.
So just get into our tasks. I'll just blast through it real quick. You know that we've been working on getting local candidates, and you probably already know if you've been watching the series that information is nearly impossible to get. You only have like names and addresses. So trying to actually communicate in a modern 2018 way, you know, a phone call, an email, is not an option. So we're gonna be doing a major mailer. I've been spending a lot of my time this week, as well as our board members have been helping us out to kind of compile a centralized database of all these addresses so we can do a massive mailer. We're going to be throwing a party in the near future, so stay tuned. It'll be a lot of fun, an envelope stuffing party. Of course, we'll have food, and it'll be a really great time and opportunity to kind of connect with individuals who really believe in what we're doing, because we have a lot of envelopes to stuff. We're going to do a big mailer, kind of coincide it with some promotional activities on social media, maybe in the news as well, to kind of get the word out there, local newspapers. But we really want to give every candidate the opportunity. OurSociety, as you're aware, is nonpartisan, so we're making sure that we send every single candidate, no matter what their party, where they're running. Every candidate in the state of New Jersey running for like town council or committee is going to get one. So I'm really excited about that. We added a press section to our website. You can see the link below. If you want to see what's going on and what's happening in the OurSociety Experiment and how we're getting the word out, you can just check that out. It'll always be updated. If you have any opportunities, if you're a journalist or if you know someone who writes for local New Jersey newspapers or even state papers or beyond, let them know about us. We are happy to talk. OurSociety is obviously one part platform in the technical aspect, but there's a huge social movement aspect to it of what we're trying to do. It's institutional reformation. We're reimagining the way that we can be involved as citizens in our local elections by making it easier and more convenient than ever. So the more ways we have to get that word out, the better for all of us. If you've ever been interested in volunteering, summer's coming up, maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in college, maybe you have some weekends off you want to dedicate time to. Our volunteer page now has a sign-up sheet. You can just sign up right on the volunteer page. Just tell us what you want to do. We will find ways to work with you. We have a million ideas. Time is our big challenge. So anything you want to do to contribute, we want you to be a part of it. OurSociety belongs to all of us. So any help you can do to help us get this mission one step closer to where we need to be is super appreciated, and we are totally open to it. On a more boring note, but still very relevant, we plan most of our social media posts for the next 2 months. Planning ahead is super important, because social media, as silly as it sounds, right? Like you go on Facebook and you're just like, oh, I'll post whatever you think. That's cool, but as an organization, we want to deliver value, right? It's not just like what I'm thinking that day or what the other staff members are thinking, when they're posting. It's about giving you actual, genuine content to learn from and have discussions about. So it's nice to plan it up front, because it gives us time to scour for articles, make commentary, ask questions, ask the right questions, And that gives us a lot of range to give you more value in the service of following us. Of course, we will update that as need be, with things that happen, current events and things like that. But this is a great way to kind of allow us to kind of get it done, put it out there, and move forward. I want to introduce a new team member of ours. Jawad Mazir has been helping us. He's from the Dreams Collective, and Jawad's a social entrepreneur. He's got a kind of a platform where numerous small businesses collaborate together, which I think is really ingenious. He's kind of single-handedly in his area, forming a cooperative economy, if you will, versus a competitive economy, and I think it's really brilliant. And he has given us some genuinely amazing feedback about the OurSociety Experiment and how to reach more people. So he and I are going to be working closely, and he's been working with the rest of the team as well, on how to kind of boost the OurSociety Experiment. He had some really great ideas about some videos to kind of draw interest, which I'm really excited about. Still kind of in the planning phase, so I'm going to just keep that under lock and key until we know more about it to kind of give you the final version. But needless to say, when we have talented, volunteers like Jawad, it totally makes what we're doing, it reaffirms our purpose. It just makes it so much easier to have outside perspective on what we're doing. Because I think we have a great group of growing volunteers. Every month it seems like we have someone new hopping on board to help out, which is super appreciated. And it's together we're going to make something really great. So I'm really excited about that. And finally, just on a personal note, I've been taking some continuing education classes. OurSociety started from just learning and studying for 2 years about political philosophy and theory, and recently, I live in New Jersey, where our beta is. We have been taking continuing education classes in the city of New York for the Henry George School. Henry George is the author of Progress and Poverty. Henry George is a scholar, a political philosopher from the late 1800s. And Henry George had an idea that I thought was super fascinating. So I just finished my first 8 classes, and it's part of this 8-class series. Actually, I believe it might have been 6 classes, but it's part of this 8-class total series. Where you get a certificate. I'm going to do my best to do all of them, but I'm not really worried about the certificate. But his main vision in Progress and Poverty was the idea of the land value tax. Essentially, the idea that the land belongs to everyone, and taxing the land, based on the output, so anyone who uses the land pays a tax back to the community, would solve a lot of the systemic flaws in our current tax program that essentially allow the consolidation of land and the collection of rents. And that's something we're seeing a lot now in our generation, in the millennial generation, is that more and more millennials are not buying houses. We're ending up as this renter class, both because of the market bust and because of the incredibly high student loans that we have that generations prior to us didn't really have. So it's a pretty fascinating read. Reading a book written in the 1800s is a different experience than modern reading, but still enjoyable nonetheless. The class really turned me on to it. So I'm excited to kind of learn more about that, and then maybe write some blog posts about the concept and how that idea could be discussed on the OurSociety platform. So as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm really excited for the past week, and next week to be even better. So stay tuned for more Making the Movements here at the OurSociety Experiment.